Okay, good morning everyone. How are you all? Questionnaire and we have done a questionnaire. Same only. That is the difference between questionnaire and checklist. I think that day only I told you. Same point. Okay. Okay, everyone. The next topic. I think we have already started with the risk assessment and internal control. Usme almost we are done with the internal control system where we understood that what do you mean by internal control system, scope of internal control system, advantages, disadvantages, and various other aspects. Evaluation में 4 methods we have done. What are the 4 methods of evaluating the internal control system? Narrative record, checklist, questionnaire, and flowchart. अभी देखो, when we talk about the internal control system, there is another word comes to our mind that is called internal check system. What is the word, everyone? Anybody can tell me what is the difference between the both? See, when we talk about internal control system has 2 components. There are 2 parts of internal control system. One is known as internal check system. What is the one? Internal check system, and one is known as internal audit system. Are you getting the point? Internal control system is a broader word. It's a bigger word. Internal control system has 2 words. What are the 2 words? Internal check system, internal audit system. Internal audit system we have already covered under section number 138. Revision करेंगे? क्या होता है section number 138 internal auditor? It is applicable on which companies? If you are a listed company, maybe mandatory, maybe or always mandatory. Always mandatory. Then what if you are an unlisted public company? Either your paid up share capital or first we'll start with the 25 crores wala na. Deposits are greater than equals to 25 crores or paid up share capital 50 crores or more or outstanding borrowings 100 crores or more or turnover. Okay, what if we are a private company? Then outstanding borrowings 100 crores or more, turnover 200 crores or more. Clear है? उसके बाद next thing, who can be the preference for your पहली preference क्या है? CA और CMA, either in practice or not. Second one, any other professional from the other recognized professional body. Who is the third one? Any other officer or employee who should be a minimum PG, post graduate. Am I correct? Next one, what are the 9 things he can't do? He can't do the tax audit, statutory audit, cost audit, GST audit of the same company. Cannot be involved in bookkeeping system, accounting system, financial information system, executive functions and managerial decision making. ये सब कुछ हमको बताता है कि who is a which auditor? Internal. So internal control system is a father has 2 sons. One is called internal check system and one is called internal audit system. So we already are aware about internal control system and internal audit system. Now today we have to understand what internal check system. अब सुनो, इसकी बहुत सिंपल सी डेफिनेशन है. It's an act of segregation of duties and division of the duties in such a manner कि one person's work will be independently and automatically checked by another person. That is called internal check system. जैसे say for example, when we go to a bank and when we go to a bank for a demand draft, tell me one thing, when you enter the bank, is there only one person who is taking care of the total demand draft का procedure or multiple people are involved? देखो तुम, you will deposit the cash at the cash counter, you will give the counter foil at the different counter where it will be written that in whose favor you need a demand draft. Printing department is different, signature branch manager will do, and if your demand draft is more than 50,000, then in that case signature general manager also will do. It means for a single demand draft making, one person is involved or 5 persons are involved. Is this a sign of good internal control system or a poor internal control system? Good. उसी को हम लोग internal check system बोलते हैं, to be precise. What do you mean by internal check system? Now listen to this very carefully. Repeat after me. It is an act of, repeat, segregation of duties or division of the work in such a way that one person's work will be independently and automatically checked by another person. That what? One person's work will be independently and automatically checked by what? Another. इससे फायदा क्या होता है कि एक जना अगर फ्रॉड कर रहा है, if someone is doing a fraud or an error, it will be automatically checked by what? Another. So there itself only we can catch the thief. Are you getting the point? Frauds and errors will take place or will not take place? Will not take place. This is what we mean by what? Internal control, sorry, internal check system. समझ में आ गया internal check system? अभी पढ़ो क्या लिखा हुआ है? What is the definition of internal check system? Check on a day-to-day transaction operating continuously as a part of which system? Routine system, where the work carried out by one person is automatically checked by another. See, either you can adopt this definition or you can write the same definition which I told you. What I told you, tell me. It's an act of segregation of duties or division of the work in such a way that one person's work will be automatically and independently checked by what? Another person. So either of the way your definition will be right. It's your call which definition you want to write. Now, what are the features? What are the things in the internal control system? Read the feature number 1, everyone. Read the feature number 1. Point number 1. Administrative and financial powers should be distributed among different persons. What do you mean by that? Let me give you a very simple example. Suppose I am the cashier of the company. Daily, I make the payments and crores of cash and I receive crores and crores of cash. I am the cashier of the company. Should I be also allowed to prepare the books of accounts? What is the problem? Chances of frauds and errors will be lower here or higher here. So the one who is handling the fixed assets should not be allowed to make the books of accounts. So they should be one person doing the multiple job or multiple persons doing the multiple job. Multiple persons doing the multiple job is a sign of good internal check system. If you give a single person a multiple jobs, then the chances of frauds and errors will be higher. Are you getting the point? Now see, that is why they have read the point number 1 again. What is the point number 1? Administrative and financial powers should be distributed among which personnel? Different personnel. Next one. A single person should not have independent control over any important aspect of what? Business. Achha, say for example, there is one purchase manager in my company. Pura example ध्यान से सुनना. There is a purchase manager in my company. As an MD of my company, I gave the 200% powers to him only. कि भैया, you only invite the tenders, you only select the tenders, you only decide the quotation, you only take care of everything. Now tell me, am I too much dependent upon one person? Chances of frauds will be higher. Don't you think that this purchase manager to whom I have given the maximum powers, he or she may does the collusion with the tenderer? The tenderer with the lowest cost is good for me or the highest cost is good for me? But he chose what? She chose what? Highest cost. She did the collusion with whom? Tenderer. I will make sure that सारी power मेरे पास है भाई. The whole power is with me. I will make sure that your tender will be selected. Charge as much you want. 50% is my commission. Now tell me, are they doing the fraud in the name of company or not? So is he using the power or abusing his power? Abusing. Is misusing his power. Did you get the point? We don't want that kind of thing in the organization. That's why you have to read the point number 2 again. Read the point number 2. Single person should not have independent control over any important aspect of a business. एक बंदे को इतना control मत दो कि he will be too much independent to do everything. Did you get the point? That is a sign of what? Good, I says. So basically we are doing what? We are doing the features of good internal check system. And internal check system is a part of which system? Control system. So who is the father? And who is the son? अभी अपन son को कर रहे. One son we have already done in 138. Another we are doing it now. And father we discussed day before yesterday. ठीक है? Third person पूछो. Read the third point. Persons having physical custody of assets should or should not have access to what accounts or record. अगर मेरे पास cash है, physical custody of the cash, I should not be the one who is making what accounts. और अगर मैं accountant हूं, I should not be allowed to handle what cash. Two persons should be same or separate? Separate. So the person who is handling the physical custody of the asset should not be having any access to what? Books of accounts. Did you get the point? Tell me the three qualities of a good internal check system. Financial and administrative controls should be given to the single person or different person? Different person. The one who is handling the physical custody of the cash should not be having the access to what? Books of accounts. And the one should not have the independent control over the important aspect of the business. So these three features put together makes a good internal check system. Read the fourth one, everyone. All acts of one person should come under the review of what? Another. अब जैसे हम लोग सिनेमा हॉल में देखते हैं, the one who is selling the ticket is the one who is checking it or the different person. So can you say it is a cross check? Seller is saying कि I sold 80 tickets. I sold how many tickets? But checker is saying I checked the 100 tickets. What does that mean? The seller is trying to hide how many tickets? 20 tickets. Are you getting the point? He might have taken the money from the customers, but he might have given them the different ticket. Are you getting? But the checker is saying that I checked how many tickets? So tell me, one person's fraud is checked by what? Another person. This is a sign of good internal check system. Now this is what the point here. All the acts of one person should come under the review of what? Another person. Next one. Duties of the staff should be changed from time to time without previous notice. What do you mean by that? इसे बोलते हैं shuffling of jobs. That is called what? अच्छा तुम मुझे बताओ, shuffling of jobs is a good thing or a bad thing? Think logically and give me the answer. That's why I asked you, because I know that there are two set of minds which are sitting in the class. Some of you might be thinking that it's a good thing. Some of you might be thinking that it's a bad thing. But let me tell you one thing, it's an excellent thing. Listen to me carefully. Suppose if I'm the sales manager, अब example को ध्यान से सुनना. I'm a sales manager and there she is the purchase manager. For the last 20 years, I'm only doing sales. And for the last 20 years, she is only doing what? Purchase. She is a super duper expert in purchase department. I'm an expert in what? Sales department. One day I need a leave for 3 months. Whether the whole sales department will be stuck or not. Yes. But if we will keep on shuffling our jobs at regular interval of 6 months, now tell me in that case, even if I'll be on leave, she'll be able to handle both the departments now? Because now she knows the knowledge of what? Sales as well as what? This is the biggest advantage of what? Shuffling. ये तो समझ में आ गया कि one should shuffle the job with each other. The chances of better management will be there. But what is this point written without previous notice? Intimation should be given or should not be? इससे क्या होगा? पूरा sentence पढ़ो. Duties of the staff should be what? Changed. From what? Time to time. Without giving what? Prior notice. Why? You might have planned some fraud in the next month. But if I'll change your duty today only to some another department, your plan is fruitful or fruitless now. That is why you should never tell when you are telling the employee that we are going to shuffle your what? Job. So should be given with prior notice or without prior notice. Is it clear? Each and everybody is going inside your head. What is the next point, everyone? Every personnel should be what? Encouraged to go on a leave. भाई ये तो बेस्ट कंपनी है. कंपनी तुम्हें बोल रही है भाई गोवा जाओ, हॉलीडे करो, बट तुम्हें ये नहीं पता कि why company is forcing you to go to Goa. When you will be in Goa enjoying with your family, they are taking care of your computer. They will be seeing. अच्छा मैं तुम्हें एक reality check बताता हूँ. Some people who does the job, that's why I hate the jobs and all. That's why I prefer to be an entrepreneur instead of what? Doing the job. Some people who do the job now, they become workaholic. What do you mean by workaholic? For them, going morning 7 to evening 9 13-14 hours of job is everything. They are losing their family touch. Am I correct or not? And at the same point of time, when you work in the same place for so many number of hours, you become monotonous, a machine. Are you getting the point? You have nothing new to look for. तो तुम्हारी efficiency level क्या हो जाती है? Down. Are you getting the point? Even though in front of the boss, you are doing the job for 15 hours in a day, but actually your productive hours are 2 and 3 hours only. It means your boss is paying you for 15 hours, but you are giving him the output of only what? 3 hours. That's the reason boss is telling you, "Bhai, you please go to job. You have not taken even a single leave in the last 6 months. You better go to a leave." After he will go to the leave, we will check his what? Projects. Are they completed or still what? Incompleted. The project which should have been completed by the 1 month, he is taking 2.5 months, but still he is working 15 hours a day. Now tell me, is it matching or mismatching? A project which deserves only 1 month by a person who does a 8 hours of job. He has taken 3 months, still he is coming 15 hours in a day. It means, is he a productive employee or non-productive? Would I like to keep that, or I would like to eliminate? So that is the reason bosses gives you what? Pressure. You be on the leave, so that when you leave your desktop or the laptop, they will have a custody of that and they will check whether your efficiency was on the higher level or on the lower level. This is also called a good technique of internal check system. और ऐसा होता है जब आपको जॉब में you are doing the job only for the purpose of getting the money. You are not passionate about your job. मेरा तो यही मानना है सर कि whatever you do in your life, either it is a job or it is your practice or it is a teaching profession or any business, you should do it with a passion. अगर आपके पास every day, अब तुम मुझे ये बताओ, ये मेरा 51st बैच है ऑडिटिंग का so far. मेरे को 51 बैचेस हो गए लेते हुए ऑडिट सब्जेक्ट के. Since 2013 I am teaching. Almost 10 years होने वाले हैं. मैंने 30,000 स्टूडेंट्स क्रॉस करे ये सब्जेक्ट को लेके. लेकिन एवरी बैच आई डू नॉट गेट बोर्ड while teaching the same concept. My energy levels will be same which you will find it in the previous batch. ऐसा नहीं है कि नेक्स्ट बैच में आके मैं बोर हो जाऊंगा. क्यों? क्योंकि आई एम पैशनेट टुवर्ड्स व्हाट आई एम डूइंग. आई लव टीचिंग, आई लव प्रैक्टिसिंग. आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? ना जो भी करते हो उसे अच्छे से करो. That only will push you to give you the maximum energy. And you won't believe I am getting better batch by batch. अब तुम सोचोगे सर इससे बेटर क्या होगा? Every batch is a batch of learning. You never become perfect till the day you die. You learn every day. समझ में आ रहा है? तो मैं अपने आप को ये नहीं बोल सकता कि मैं ऑडिटिंग में एक्सपर्ट हूं या लॉ में एक्सपर्ट हूं. Expertise you never gain until and unless you reach at the acme level. Every batch, every day is a day of learning. But sometimes when you do the job ना, it becomes monotonous. Same भाई. अब मैं different places पे पढ़ाता हूँ. I go to A Academy also, B also, C also. I see these many faces different. मतलब daily I meet 1000 students. Daily. 200 तुम यहाँ पे बैठे हो, नीचे के फ्लोर में 100 बैठे हुए हैं, फिर और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जाता हूँ वहां पे. तो that gives me a push कि भैया energy level should not be down. Energy level should always be what? High. You will find me at the morning 7:30 my first class also same like that, and by the 6:30 my last class also it will be same. But after 6:30 I only see one thing, bed. पूरी बॉडी बर्बाद हो जाती है. इसीलिए मेरे को हर 15-20 डेज के बाद एक ऑफ चाहिए रहता, क्योंकि बॉडी ऑल्सो नीड्स अ पेट्रोल ना भाई. अपनी बॉडी भी तो मशीन है, कितना घिसाओगे? बाइक में भी पेट्रोल और ग्रीसिंग ऑयली चाहिए ना, वैसे ही बॉडी में चाहिए होती है. बट दीज पीपल हु डू नॉट टेक द लीव्स इन द जॉब्स, दे बिकम व्हाट? वर्कोहॉलिक. एंड दैट्स द रीजन बॉस पुश यू टू टेक अ व्हाट? लीव, सो दैट दे कैन चेक योर व्हाट? efficiency levels. That is also one of the technique nowadays becoming very popular in the corporate world. What is the next one? Budgets should be prepared for the which one? Important activities. If the difference between the budgeted and what? Actual figure is what? Significant. It should be what? Inquired into. What do you mean by that? ये तो बहुत simple sentence है, कोई समझाएगा? What is the meaning of this? It's a very simple thing. You can tell me. Acha, what do you mean by budgets? Expenditure should be spent within that limit only. Suppose I gave you a budget of 2 crores. You spend 2 crore 1 lakh. Manageable? Yes. It is very near to the budget. But you spend 5 crores. The difference between the 2 crore and 5 crore is how many? 3 crore. Is it an insignificant difference or significant? Then what is the last point written? It should be inquired. इसका मतलब कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम है, या तो मेरा बजट रॉन्ग था या तुमने ओवर एक्सपेंडिचर कर दिया. और ये मेनली गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में होता है. कहां पे होता है? गवर्नमेंट. जैसे मेट्रो का मैंने तुम्हें केस बताया था. अभी मेट्रो का एक्चुअल प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट वाज 28,000 करोड़. अभी तक 81,000 करोड़ हैव बीन स्पेंट एंड मेट्रो इज नॉट येट कंप्लीटेड. अब तुम मुझे बताओ बजट क्या था? रेडी. क्योंकि दे डिड नॉट कंसीडर, दीज मैड फेलोज डू नॉट कंसीडर द एस्केलेशन कॉस्ट. तो मुझे ये बताओ, अगर तुम 2009 में मेट्रो कंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हो, डू यू थिंक दैट द मेट्रो विल बी कंस्ट्रक्टेड इन 1 ईयर और मिनिमम 10 years? 10 years, 2009 to 2019, will there be inflation? So you have to increase the budget also every year, na? How you can expect that ki budget which you created in 2009, in the same budget you will be able to complete it in 2019? अब जो लेबरर 100 रुपए पर आवर लेता था 2009 में, the same laborer is going to charge 600 rupees per hour today. कितना एक्सपेंडिचर इंक्रीज हुआ? 5 times. तो तुम्हारा बजट तो सेम ही है. तो दे do not do consider these things. Where in the which projects everyone? Government. But nowadays companies are also going in the same way. Company का बोलते हैं my budget is this much. If you can do it. But if the significant difference will come, I will do the inquiry into it. Now tell me, is it a sign of good ICS or poor ICS? Should we allow our employees to do whatever the expenditure they want or within the budgets? Or maximum lower amount of deviation. जैसे 2 crore का बजट है, 2 crore, 5 lakh, 6 lakh is fine. It is near to what? 2 crore. But जैसे 3 crore, 4 crore हो जाएगा, the difference is what? Insignificant or significant? It has to be inquired. And what is the last point, everyone? To prevent misappropriation of what? Cash, mechanical devices. For example, automatic cash register can be what? Employed. What do you mean by that? To prevent misappropriation of cash, mechanical devices. What do you mean by that? आजकल तुमने देखा होगा कि जैसे अपना VRR बिल्डिंग में भी जाओ, सीतारमन सर का जो कैबिन है ना, अब जब हम लोग frankly speaking, when we go there to take our payment, तो some of the payment, most of the payment they make it online only because TDS का होता है, क्योंकि we will be having the TDS under 194J, प्रोफेशनल फीस का TDS होता है, ठीक है ना, तो हमारा 10% TDS कट होके आता है. बट कई बार क्या होता है, छोटा पेमेंट होता है, जैसे क्रैश बैच का हो गया, 1 लाख 2 लाख का पेमेंट हो गया, तो ये पेमेंट के टाइम पे दे ट्राई टू गिव इट इन अस ऑन व्हाट? कैश. अब तुम मुझे ये बताओ, ह्यूमन एरर कैन बी देयर व्हाइल कैलकुलेटिंग इट और नॉट, बट दे डू हैव अ व्हाट? मशीन. उसमें मशीन में 3 बार काउंट किया जाता है. 3 बार काउंट होने के बाद जब 100 नोट्स आएंगे तभी वो उसका बंडल बना के तुम्हें देंगे. नाउ टेल मी, इज इट अ साइन ऑफ गुड आईसीएस और पुअर आईसीएस? गुड आईसीएस. 3 बार रीचेक करना सेम बंडल को इज अ साइन ऑफ व्हाट? गुड आईसीएस. उसीलिए बोलते हैं ऑटोमेटिक कैश रजिस्टर, मतलब वो मशीन की बात कर रहे हैं. To avoid the misappropriation of cash, mechanical devices should be what? Installed. So these all are the signs of what? A good internal check system. तो अगर तुम्हें एग्जाम में आया तो first you will write the definition and then you will write these 4-5 examples. Can you tell me 4-5 out of 8? Point number 1. चलो मैं तुमसे पूछता हूं. Physical custody handler should also be handling the books of account. Should we give the important aspect of the business का independent control to one person or multiple person? One job should be done by, multiple jobs should be done by one or multiple people? Multiple people. Then there should be a shuffling of jobs with prior notice or without prior notice. For the misappropriation, to prevent the misappropriation of cash, we should install what? Automated machines. Am I correct? और क्या बोल सकते हैं? Yes, budgets and actuals should be near. But if the budgets and actuals are too significant in difference, then in that case, inquire. Next point, duties of the staff हो गया. Every person shall be encouraged to go on a what? Leave, so that we can check his efficiencies and inefficiencies. Accordingly, you can take a call. So this is what we mean by another system called what, everyone? Internal check system. समझ में आ गया सबको? With that, our half of the chapter is over, which talks about what? Internal control system. अब अपने को करना है 315. What is 315? अभी सुनो 315 का पहले नाम समझो. What is the name of 315? Identifying and assessment. Repeat the word. Of ROMUM. Identifying and assessment of ROMUM. What is ROMUM? In financial statements. In where? By understanding entity, its environment and internal controls. ये पूरा नाम है एक स्टैंडर्ड का. Tell me, what is the name of 315? Identifying and assessment of ROMUM in FS. First repeat this line. Identifying and assessment of ROMUM in FS by understanding its entity, environment and what do you say? Controls. Controls हमने समझ लिए. अभी now we have to understand entity and what? Environment. Before moving into anything, you have to first understand the meaning of the term called what? Audit risk. अभी इसको ध्यान से सुनना जो मैं तुम्हें बता रहा हूं. Listen. एक सेकेंड मेरे को पेज ऐड करने दो. सी आजा भाई. अच्छा ये बताओ, anybody is having an idea about the risk? क्या होता है रिस्क? What do you mean by the term called risk? हाँ? Chances of incurring losses, or you can also say probability of losses. Probability of losses. That is nothing but called what? Risk, which may happen, may not. देखो, the biggest risk in our audit profession is what kind of testing we do. Do we do the full testing or sampling? Is it risky? Yes, it is risky. अच्छा ये बताओ, do we check all the areas or some of the important areas? That is also what? Risky. Do we give the guarantee or we give an opinion? That is also what? Risky. Do we mostly do our audit on conclusive evidences or persuasive evidence? Persuasive. That is also what? Risky. तो याद रखना, our जो audit profession है ना, audit profession is what surrounded by so many risks. तो अपने को ये टॉपिक में क्या पढ़ना है? व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय द टर्म कॉल्ड व्हाट? ऑडिट रिस्क. तो व्हाट इज द टॉपिक नेम? व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय द टर्म कॉल्ड ऑडिट रिस्क? अब सुनना ध्यान से. इट इज एन एक्ट ऑफ, रिपीट, इट इज एन एक्ट ऑफ गिविंग inappropriate opinion. Which opinion, everyone? On what? Financial statements as what? Unmodified. क्या तुम मेरे को इस सेंटेंस का मीनिंग बताओगे? What is the meaning of this sentence? What do you mean by audit risk? It's an act of giving the which opinion? What do you mean by inappropriate? Wrong. It's an act of giving a which opinion? Wrong opinion. On what we are giving? Finance. As what I am giving? Unmodified. मतलब मैंने एक फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट के ऊपर ओपिनियन दिया. आई गिव वन ओपिनियन ऑन अ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एज व्हाट? अनमॉडिफाइड. एंड व्हाई इट इज रिटन इनअप्रोप्रिएट? इट वाज अ राइट ओपिनियन और रॉन्ग ओपिनियन. Whereas in actual, such financial statements were misstated. Such financial statements were misstated. अब तो मुझे बताओ ये किन सिचुएशन में होगा? Now I am going to take you back to 530. I told you that day also कि I will take you again that chart. Do you remember that? Over reliance, under reliance. I told you that 315 में हम लोग फिर से डिस्कस करेंगे. तो दिस इज द टाइम टू डिस्कस नाउ. अब सुनो, ये पूरे सेंटेंस को पढ़ो पहले. क्या लिखा हुआ है? इट्स एन एक्ट ऑफ गिविंग अ विच ओपिनियन? इनएप्रोप्रिएट ओपिनियन मींस रॉन्ग ओपिनियन ऑन व्हाट? फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एज व्हाट? इसका मतलब मैंने अनमॉडिफाइड ओपिनियन दिया, मतलब क्लीन ओपिनियन दिया. इट मींस दैट ओपिनियन वाज व्हाट? रॉन्ग. इट मींस व्हाट हैज एक्चुअली हैपेंड, whereas in actual such financial statements were what? मतलब फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स में फ्रॉड्स भी थे, एरर्स भी थे, बट स्टिल आई गिव अ विच ओपिनियन? अनमॉडिफाइड. तो डिड आई गिव अ राइट ओपिनियन और रॉन्ग ओपिनियन? दैट इज व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय व्हाट? ऑडिट. दिस इज अ डेफिनेशन ऑफ ऑडिट रिस्क. अब बताओ विदाउट लुकिंग. इट्स एन एक्ट ऑफ गिविंग एन इनएप्रोप्रिएट ओपिनियन ऑन फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एज unmodified, whereas in actual such financial statements were already materially misstated. उसमें misstatement थी, but मैंने चेक नहीं की, due to which I ended up giving a which opinion? Wrong opinion. Did you get the point or not? उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? Audit. अभी ऑडिट रिस्क का फॉर्मूला क्या है? द फॉर्मूला ऑफ द ऑडिट रिस्क इज रोमम इंटू डीआर. व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला एवरीवन? रोमम का मतलब होता है रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट इंटू डिटेक्शन रिस्क. इंटू विच रिस्क? अभी रोमम का फॉर्मूला क्या है? रोमम इज इक्वल टू आई आर इंटू सी आर. व्हाट डू मीन बाय आई आर इंटू सी आर? इनहेरेंट रिस्क into controlled risk. इसका मतलब what is the formula of audit risk now? IR into CR into DR. इक्वेशन समझ में आई? So tell me again. Audit risk का फॉर्मूला क्या है? रोमम into DR. रोमम का फॉर्मूला क्या है? IR into CR. तो इसका मतलब ऑडिट रिस्क क्या हुआ? IR into CR into DR. मतलब इनहेरेंट रिस्क मल्टीप्लाइड बाय कंट्रोल रिस्क मल्टीप्लाइड बाय डिटेक्शन रिस्क इज इक्वल टू व्हाट? अब मैं तुम्हें जो चीज बता रहा हूं ना उसको ध्यान से सुनना. इसका मतलब ऑडिट रिस्क इज नॉट ऑडिटर्स फॉल्ट कंप्लीटली. इट्स अ फॉल्ट ऑफ टू पीपल, मैनेजमेंट एंड ऑडिटर. समझ में आ रहा है? जब एक ऑडिटर, व्हेनेवर एन ऑडिटर gives any wrong opinion, it doesn't mean that it is his fault only. It is a fault of both management. अब मैं तुम्हें बताता हूं. Management was not able to control two of its risks. What are the two risks of the management? Inherent risk and control. That's why I was unable to control my detection risk. और तीनों को मल्टीप्लाई करके क्या आया? Audit risk. And audit risk क्या बोलता है? I gave a which opinion? Appropriate or inappropriate? Combination समझ में आया? Management was unable to control its two risks. Tell me two risks. Inherent risk, control risk. Due to which I was unable to control my detection risk. तीनों multiply होके क्या आया? And ultimately I ended up giving a which opinion? तो ये मेरा fault है. Even though the name of the topic is what? Audit risk. But it is not only auditor's risk. It is a risk of two people. अगर मैनेजमेंट अपने आईआर और सीआर को कंट्रोल कर लेता, मेरा डीआर नहीं होता था. और इट मींस आई कुड हैव एंडेड अप गिविंग अ एप्रोप्रिएट ओपिनियन इंस्टेड ऑफ व्हाट? इनएप्रोप्रिएट. डिड यू गेट द पॉइंट? अब अपन इसे थोड़ा डिटेल में करेंगे. सर आईआर क्या होता है? सीआर क्या होता है? डीआर क्या होता है? आईआर स्टैंड्स फॉर व्हाट? इनहेरेंट रिस्क. दैट रिस्क व्हिच कैन नेवर बी एलिमिनेटेड, अ रिस्क दैट fraud and error will definitely happen. मैं तुम्हें एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल बताता हूं. आई थिंक आई ऑलरेडी शेयर्ड द एग्जांपल विद यू. ज्वेलरी इंडस्ट्री मालूम है ना अपने को? ज्वेलरी इंडस्ट्री में जब आप एक कॉइन लेते हो, व्हेन यू टेक अ कॉइन एंड व्हेन यू टेक अ ज्वेलरी, डू यू गेट द प्राइस डिफरेंस? कोई बता सकता है? व्हाट इज, मतलब से फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम टेकिंग 10 ग्राम्स ऑफ कॉइन, 24 कैरेट कॉइन, एंड आई एम टेकिंग अ ज्वेलरी ऑफ 22 कैरेट. But this 22 carat jewelry will be more expensive than what? Coin. Why? Making charges, cutting charges, wasting charges. ये तीन charges होते हैं उसके ऊपर. कौन कौन से? Making, cutting. Tell me one thing. If you want a jewelry, making charges are avoidable or non-avoidable? When you turn a gold into a jewelry, definitely evaporation of the gold will take place. Some particles will be on the floor as well. They are recoverable or irrecoverable? इसलिए क्या लिए जाते हैं? वेस्टिंग चार्जेस. विच चार्जेस? अब तुम मुझे बताओ, मेकिंग चार्जेस, वेस्टिंग चार्जेस, कटिंग चार्जेस, दीज आर अवॉइडेबल रिस्क और अनअवॉइडेबल रिस्क. कैन आई कॉल देम एज इनहेरेंट रिस्क? इट विल डेफिनेटली बी देयर. यस, दैट्स द रीजन योर गोल्ड प्राइस गोज व्हाट? अप व्हेन यू बाय अ ज्वेलरी एज कंपेयर टू अ कॉइन. क्योंकि कॉइन में क्या होता है? एक गोल्ड है, उसको सिर्फ एक गोल्ड शेप देनी है. There is no designing they will do it on the coin. That's why coin pay making charges and the wastage charges are what? Less. But when they convert the gold into an ornament, a jewelry, they have to make so many designs. The complex the design will be, the higher will be the which charges? Wasting charge. So the same 10 gram of gold, for coin you are paying 52,000, but for the gold chain you will be end up paying 60,000. क्यों भाई? 8,000 extra क्यों? Making, wasting. अब ये कौन सा रिस्क है? इनहेरेंट रिस्क। अब मैं तुम्हें एक फनी एग्जांपल बताता हूं। मेरा एक स्टॉक ऑडिट हुआ था यहाँ पे अपना बशीरबाग है ना, बशीरबाग पे पूरे ज्वेलरी शॉप्स है, वहां पे मुसद्दीलाल ज्वेलर्स है, जस्ट बिलो द फ्लाईओवर देयर इज वन ज्वेलर कॉल्ड मुसद्दीलाल ज्वेलर्स। सो आई वाज अ स्टॉक ऑडिटर ऑफ दैट मुसद्दीलाल ज्वेलर्स इन 2015। तो हम लोगों ने उसका स्टॉक ऑडिट किया था। ही हैड टेकन सम 120 crores ऑफ सीसी लिमिट, ड्रॉइंग पावर, या था बैंक ऑडिट में बताया था। तो बैंकर अपॉइंटेड अस टू गो देयर एंड डू द विच ऑडिट? स्टॉक। व्हाट इज द स्टॉक ऑफ ज्वेलरी? गोल्ड। भाई तब ऐसे डग 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 कर रहा, क्योंकि फर्स्ट टाइम आई वाज लुकिंग एट दैट मच ऑफ गोल्ड। भाई ही टुक अस टू हिज वर्कशॉप। तो वर्कशॉप में हमने जाके उनका वो पूरा लॉकर, भाई लॉकर नहीं था, वो लॉकरा था, इतना मोटा गेट उसका, मतलब ऐसा इट नीड्स 2 people टू ओपन दैट गेट। तो वी ओपन द गेट, भाई अंदर देखा तो आई बिकेम डोनाल्ड डक। वो डोनाल्ड डक की आंख में डॉलर्स आ जाते ना, वैसे मेरी आंख में गोल्ड आ गया था पूरा। भाई देखा येलो, 781 kgs ऑफ गोल्ड वॉज देयर इन फ्रंट ऑफ इट। 781 kgs। मेरे को ऑन द स्पॉट लगा कि आई शुड बी अडॉप्टेड ऑन द स्पॉट, मतलब ये बंदा मेरे को अडॉप्ट कर ले बस, ठीक है ना। बट दैट वाज नॉट एट ऑल पॉसिबल। तो मैंने जब ऑडिट किया हम लोगों ने, एंड एक्चुअली द गोल्ड लुक्स लाइक अ वेरी स्मॉल ब्रिक, बट वो इतनी सी ब्रिक व्हेन यू होल्ड इट ना, इट्स 1 kg, तो हैंड ऐसे नीचे चले जाता है। तो पहले तो सोचा 2-3 पॉकेट में डाल लेते हैं, बट पॉकेट उस दिन मैं थोड़ी टाइट जीन्स पहन के गया था। प्रॉब्लम ये, उस दिन बैगी जीन्स होती तो थोड़ा बहुत हो जाता। बट एनीवेज, वहां पे ना एक स्वीपर था, स्वीपर। तो मैंने देखा दैट स्वीपर वाज वेयरिंग द नाइलॉन क्लोथ्स फ्रॉम द हेड टू द बॉटम, ही वाज फुली कवर्ड विद द नाइलॉन क्लॉथ्स। तो मैंने वो पूछा, मैंने कहा ये कौन सा ड्रेस मटेरियल है यार? तो उन्होंने बोला सर वी आर अ स्वीपर। इंग्लिश में बात कर रहा मेरा। मैंने कहा अच्छा, पहले तो स्वीपर, ऊपर से इंग्लिश, तो थोड़ा अनएक्सपेक्टेड सा था। मैंने कहा सर मतलब अब मेरे को भी इज्जत देनी पड़ेगी भाई, इंग्लिश में बोल रहा। तो मैंने कहा सर आप मतलब यहाँ पे जॉब करते हो? कहता हाँ जॉब करते हो। मैंने कहा कितना सैलरी देते हैं? कहता 85,000 पर मंथ। सुनो सुनो, पूरा केस सुनो। मैंने कहा स्वीपर की जॉब 85,000 रुपीज पर मंथ। 2015 में जो चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट का मैक्सिमम पैकेज गया था वो 9.75 लाख था, मतलब उसको भी 85 नहीं मिल रहा। लेकिन मैंने पूछा भाई मैं इधर आना, अब क्यूरियोसिटी इज इंक्रीजिंग, ठीक है ना, मेरा मोटिवेशन हो रहा कि आई शुड चेंज माय प्रोफेशन। तो मैंने पूछा, मैंने कहा इधर आओ। मैंने कहा व्हाई, आई मीन ऑन व्हाट बेसिस यू आर गेटिंग? कहता आई हैव डन एन एमबीए इन स्वीपिंग मैनेजमेंट। मैंने कहा क्या? मैंने हमने सुना है एमबीए फाइनेंस में होती है, मार्केटिंग में होती है, स्वीपिंग मैनेजमेंट? मैं होटल मैनेजमेंट सुना है, ठीक है, एयरक्राफ्ट मैनेजमेंट सुना है, एयर एविएशन मैनेजमेंट सुनी है। मैंने कहा ये स्वीपिंग मैनेजमेंट कौन? कहते हैं ये स्पेशल कोर्स होता है। मैंने कहा अच्छा, फिर क्यूरियोसिटी डबल हो गई। मैंने कहा मेरे को भी बताओ। मैंने कहा कितने साल का कोर्स है? कहते हैं 2 साल का कोर्स है। स्पेशली वी आर बीइंग ट्रेन्ड टू वर्क अंडर द डायमंड वर्कशॉप्स एंड द गोल्ड वर्कशॉप्स। अब वो उसकी ड्यूटी क्या थी? डेली 12 times he has to sweep the floor। जब वो स्वीप करता था तो he will tell all the what to say the workshop people to go outside the shop and they have to first take out their clothes and ऐसा करके उनको, क्योंकि वर्कशॉप्स के ऊपर भी नाइलॉन क्लॉथ, they have to just झाड़ना बोलते ना, they have to clean it off। After that he will sweep and on every sweep he used to gather 20 grams of gold। कितना ग्राम ऑफ गोल्ड कलेक्ट करता था? इन द फॉर्म ऑफ दीज मेनी पार्टिकल्स, स्मॉल स्मॉल पार्टिकल्स। अब तो मुझे बताओ 12 स्वीप्स मतलब 240 ग्राम्स ऑफ गोल्ड इनटू 30 डेज अगर मल्टीप्लाई करो तो 720 नहीं अम्मा, 7200 होगा। 7200 ग्राम्स, 7200 ग्राम्स कितना होगा? ऑलमोस्ट 7 kgs ऑफ गोल्ड ही वॉज रिकवरिंग। एक 10 ग्राम का 50 ग्राम, मतलब ही वॉज ब्रिंगिंग आउट मिनिमम of 1 crore to 2 crores of benefit to that shop owner। तो don't you think that he deserves 85,000 now? भाई मैं होता तो मैं 2 लाख देता अगर मैं ज्वेलरी शॉप वाला होता। But thing was that what I'm trying to tell you is that कि why he needs to do every time a sweeping, that to 12 times in a day? क्योंकि when the gold turns into a what? Ornament, it is inherent risk that कि some of the particles will go down. Some of the particles will evaporate also. Small particles will evaporate and some of the particles will go drop down. He used to collect that. So that kind of risk is a which risk everyone? Inherent risk. समझ में आया inherent risk का फॉर्मूला? अच्छा ये बताओ, ये inherent risk ऑडिटर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, स्वीपर मेरा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है या मैनेजमेंट का? तो यू ऑल अंडरस्टूड कि इनहेरेंट इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ होम मैनेजमेंट. चलो नेक्स्ट रिस्क करते हैं. व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट रिंग? कंट्रोल. अच्छा, वी कांट डू एनीथिंग टू द इनहेरेंट रिस्क बिकॉज इट इज इनहेरेंट इन नेचर. इट विल डेफिनेटली टेक प्लेस. अवॉइडेबल और अनअवॉइडेबल. बट कंट्रोल रिस्क का मतलब क्या होता है? जैसे से फॉर एग्जांपल, मैंने बहुत बार एग्जांपल शेयर करी है, 40 कैमरास ओनली 4 आर वर्किंग. आउट ऑफ 40 सर्वेलेंस कैमरास only 4 are working in the gold shop. Now tell me, that is a sign of good ICS or poor ICS? It means this is a controlled risk. It means this is you have an internal control system, but you have the poor internal control system. But my question is this avoidable? Is this controllable? But who is not controlling it? Again, it is whose risk? Management risk. So inherent risk और control risk दोनों put together रोमम होते. इनको मल्टीप्लाई करो तो क्या होता है? अब रोमम का फुल फॉर्म चांसेस ऑफ फ्रॉड्स एंड एरर इज ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ IR इंटू CR. अगर आपकी कंपनी में इनहेरेंट रिस्क है और आपकी कंपनी में कंट्रोल रिस्क है तो रोमम विल ऑलवेज बी व्हाट? हायर. अब समझ में आ रहा है कि रोमम का फॉर्मूला क्यों बनाया गया? IR इंटू CR. And ROMAM is, it means now ROMAM is whose responsibility? Management's responsibility. अब आते हैं अपन थर्ड रिस्क पे. What is the third? DR. What is DR? अब मैं तुम्हें ध्यान से पूछूंगा, तुम मुझे ये बताओ. अच्छा, before doing anything, first you to tell me that what will be the relationship between DR and ROMAM? Means IR into CR is having a which relationship with DR? Think logically. Positive. Higher the IR and CR, higher will be the DR. Wrong. There is an inverse relationship between them. Which वही तो Y का आंसर देने के लिए मैं बैठा हूं यहां पे. अब सुनना ध्यान से. मैं एक क्लाइंट A के पास गया और एक क्लाइंट B के पास गया. When I saw my client A, his IR into CR was very high. What do you mean by that? Can I say that ROMAM is very high? And on the other side, his IR into CR were very less. It means ROMAM was what? अब सुनना ध्यान से. When you already know that कि in the client A's place, ROMAM is very high, what kind of coverage you would like to have? Would you like to cover more testing, more sampling or less sampling? So can I say that more coverage? Yes or no? अब इसको ध्यान से सुनना. रिलेशनशिप मोर कवरेज और लेस कवरेज? मोर कवरेज. मतलब योर सैंपल साइज विल इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज? इंक्रीज. क्योंकि रोमम बहुत ज्यादा है, इसलिए यू कांट अफोर्ड टू चेक ओनली सम आइटम्स, यू हैव टू चेक मोर आइटम्स. तो योर कवरेज विल बी मोर. अप टू दिस पॉइंट एवरीवन क्लियर? व्हाट ऑन द अदर साइड? कवरेज विल बी व्हाट? मोर और लेस. भाई इसके बाद तुम मेरे फैन हो जाओगे, मैं तुम्हें बता रहा हूं. यू विल बिकम माई फैन आफ्टर दिस. ठीक है, यू हैव टू एडमिट दैट ऑल्सो. एम आई करेक्ट? चलो, IR इंटू CR इंक्रीज हुआ, मैंने कवरेज क्या कर दी? मोर. अब मैं जो क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूं उसे ध्यान से आंसर करना. टू कवर मोर, व्हाट विल बी योर मटेरियलिटी लेवल? टू कवर मोर, व्हाट विल बी योर मटेरियलिटी बेंचमार्किंग लेवल? लेस. So your benchmarking will be what? Lower. It means lowest amount of things also you would like to check to cover what? More and more items. Am I correct? Now when you are covering more and more items, chances of non-detection of frauds and errors will be higher or lower? So detection risk will be lower. बन गए फैन? I know. चलो right side पे करते पहले. It's okay. I will accept it. Don't worry. I will. बट लेट्स कम ऑन द राइट साइड. राइट साइड पे बताओ क्या हुआ था अपना. IR and CR क्या था? Down. Therefore, my coverage will be less. When my coverage will be less, what will be my benchmarking? But when you did the benchmarking higher, it means you covered more items or less items. Chances of non-detection of frauds and errors will be higher. Therefore, detection risk will be higher. अब बताओ IR और CR का DR से relationship is what? What is the relationship of IR and CR with DR? Inverse or positive? Inverse. Higher the IR and DR is going to be lower. But lower तक पहुंचने के लिए you have to understand these steps. Are you getting the point? तो पहले हमने क्या बोला? मैंने सोचा कि क्लाइंट का IR और CR क्या है? Higher. इसका मतलब ROMM is also what? Higher. Accordingly, what I decided? My coverage will be less or more? And if I want to cover more, what should I bring my benchmarking? Up or low? Low. If I will bring my benchmarking to the lower level, I'll be able to cover more items. And lower level may, it means more item means chances of non-detection of frauds and errors will be what? Less. Therefore, my DR will be less. And that is a vice versa in the other case. अब तुम्हें बताओ, IR into CR is what proportionately to DR? Inversely. समझ रहे हो? तो इसका मतलब मेरा जो DR है वो किसके ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है? IR और CR. तो ऑडिट रिस्क इज ओनली माई फॉल्ट और इट इज द बोथ पर्सन्स फॉल्ट. हु आर द टू पीपल? मैनेजमेंट. कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आया ऑडिट रिस्क का? आके ना. नाउ सी दिस इज व्हाट वी मीन बाय ऑडिट रिस्क. अब पढ़ो पूरा ऑडिट रिस्क का एग्जांपल. रीड द मीनिंग ऑफ द ऑडिट रिस्क एवरीवन. एक सेकेंड, लेट मी जस्ट. ये अपना 315 चल रहा है. व्हाट इज द स्टैंडर्ड वी आर डूइंग राइट नाउ? 315. Now see, read it everyone. What is the meaning of audit risk? Read it once. Audit risk is the risk that auditor may give a which opinion? Inappropriate opinion when the financial statements are what? Materially misstated. मतलब auditor ने बोल दिया unmodified. What actually he should have given what? Modified. So that risk is known as which risk? Audit. Will you be able to remember the definition of audit risk? Again, repeat 2 times. What is audit risk? It's a risk of giving a which opinion? Inappropriate. Whereas in actual, financial statements were materially misstated. Okay. Audit risk has 3 components. What are the 3? Inherent risk, control risk and detection. ये दोनों किसकी responsibility? Management. ये किसकी? Auditor. Higher the IR and CR, lower will be the DR. And lower the IR and CR, higher will be the DR. अब तुम मुझे बताओ inherent risk happens due to what? अगर मैं तुमसे simple question पूछूं, a bank without cameras is a which risk? Control risk or inherent risk? Wrong. It is inherent risk. Inherent risk occurs due to the no ICS. Try to understand me. Inherent risk occurs due to what? No ICS. If the bank is having the cameras but not working, that is a which risk? Control risk. Okay, control risk happens due to poor ICS. Again repeating. Inherent risk happens due to which ICS? No ICS. But control risk happens due to an ICS but which is a poor ICS. अब मैंने तुम्हें क्या बोला? बैंक विदाउट कैमरास. अगर उसमें कैमरास होते तो आई हैव एवरी रीजन टू येल एट द बैंक मैनेजर कि व्हाई योर कैमरास आर नॉट वर्किंग. बट देयर आर कैमरास और नो कैमरास. तो डेफिनेटली फ्रॉड्स एंड एरर्स मे टेक प्लेस और विल टेक प्लेस. इट मींस इट इज अ व्हिच रिस्क? Inherent risk, which is avoidable or non-avoidable. But cameras are there. Out of 40, only 4 are working. Internal control system is there, but that is a which system? Poor internal control. It means it is avoidable or unavoidable. Can you repair those 36 cameras and do it appropriately or not? Yes. So it is a which risk? Control risk. समझ में आ रहा है? तो which one is due to no ICS? Inherent. Which one is due to poor ICS? दोनों ही किसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी? क्योंकि आईसीएस किसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी? मैनेजमेंट. और इन दोनों के चक्कर में माई डीआर विल बी वन हायर और लोअर अकॉर्डिंगली, पॉजिटिवली और इनवर्सली. इनवर्स हायर द आईआर एंड सीआर, ठीक है, अब पढ़ो इनहेरेंट रिस्क इज व्हाट, रीड द इनहेरेंट रिस्क. It is the susceptibility of an account balance class of transaction to a material misstatement as there is, ये क्या लिखा हुआ है, as there is what, no internal controls. But अगर मैं यहां पे लिख देता हूं as there is poor internal controls, it will become the definition of what, control risk. Are you getting the point? Therefore control risk का पढ़ लो. A risk that material misstatement will not be prevented, will not be detected, will not be corrected on what, timely basis by the which system. Why? Because your internal control system is poor. So what is happening due to no ICS? Inherent. What is happening due to poor ICS? Both are whose responsibility? अगर इन दोनों को मल्टीप्लाई कर दे तो क्या आएगा, रोमम. रोमम को डीआर से मल्टीप्लाई कर दे तो क्या आएगा, ऑडिट. और ऑडिट रिस्क, ऑडिटर विल एंड अप गिविंग विच ओपिनियन, इनअप्रोप्रिएट. कनेक्शन समझ में आया वन बाय वन, राइट? नाउ यू कैन से, अरे नाउ यू कैन से, आई एम ईगरली वेटिंग फॉर यू टू से. वी आर योर, जोर से बोलो, थोड़ा सा बोल दिया करो, अच्छा लगता है. वी आर योर फैंस एंड हेडलैम्प एज वेल. चलो, ये इसका आंसर तो तुम मेरे को 2 मिनट में दे दोगे. व्हाट इज आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन, टेल मी. व्हाट इज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन आई आर, अरे ये गलत लिखा हुआ है, आई आर सी आर एंड डी आर. तो ये इसे कट करके लिख लो. व्हाट इज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन, अच्छा, बिफोर डिटेक्शन रिस्क दे वांट यू टू नो व्हाट इज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन देम. दे बोथ आर नोन एज व्हाट, रोमम. एंड रोमम इज हुज रिस्पांसिबिलिटी, ये लिखा हुआ है ये पैराग्राफ में. पढ़ो ये क्या लिखा हुआ पैराग्राफ. ऑडिटर शुड मेक कंबाइंड असेसमेंट ऑफ इनहेरेंट एंड कंट्रोल रिस्क. दिस इज बिकॉज द मैनेजमेंट जनरली रिएक्ट्स टू inherent risk situation by designing suitable internal control systems to prevent and detect and correct what, material misstatement. Therefore this combined assessment is considered to be what, ROMAM. What do you mean by ROMAM? Risk of material mistake. इसका मतलब वो ये बोल रहे हैं कि IR को अकेले असेस मत करो. Don't assess the IR alone and don't assess the CR alone. Assess them in what, combined manner, because put together they are known as what, ROMA. Did you get the point? And what is the third risk, everyone? Detection risk. ये किसका रिस्क है, ऑडिटर. It is the risk that auditor's substantive procedure will not be able to detect a what, material. तो जैसे ही हमारा वर्ड ये सब्सटेंटिव आता है, हमारे दिमाग में क्या आता है, TOD plus SAP. What is SAP? It means your TOD and SAPs were good or were bad? Were bad. You made a wrong judgment. That's why you were unable to detect what? Risk. There is a inverse relationship between what? Detection risk and combined level of what? Inherent and control risk. अब कौन explain करेगा मेरे को? The relationship between IR, CR and DR. Anybody can explain the way I explained you. I hope you all understood now. Now try to regenerate the same scenario. How I told you, you try to tell me again. If you are going to one client place and where what is higher, IR and CR is higher. It means his what is higher? ROMAM is higher. So what I would like to do as an auditor? More coverage. Due to more coverage, my benchmarking will be lower. My materiality level will be lower, so that I can cover more item. But when I will cover more item, there's a chances of non-detection of frauds and errors will be lower. Therefore, IR and DR is higher. IR and CR is higher, results into lower DR. On the other side, अगर IR और CR क्या है? Lower. What would be my coverage? Less. If I want to cover less, my benchmarking should be higher. And if my benchmarking will be higher, the chances of non-detection of frauds and errors also will be higher. Because I have verified only some items. So there, when the IR and CR is what? Lower, DR will be higher. Will you be able to explain via this example in the examination hall also? तो इतना सा मत लिख के आना, क्योंकि ये 4 मार्क का क्वेश्चन आएगा कि briefly explain the relationship between IR, CR and DR. Clear है? तो try to explain this example also like what we did. Thus when the, ये देखो यहाँ पे भी क्या लिखा हुआ, thus when the inherent risk and control risk are what? high. Acceptable detection risk should be what? Low, to reduce the overall audit risk to an acceptably lower level. I told you in a different way, in this way. So if you want, you can take the snapshot of this if you want to write this as an example, or if you have understood it, it's fine. I think anyways this book is already there in your link also, so all the things will be automatically updated. Chalo. Now read the name of the standard, everyone. 315. Pado. Identifying, assessing the risk of material misstatement through understanding the entity, environment and what? Related. Internal controls के बारे में we have already understood above. It means in this we have to understand about entity and environment. अब मैं तुम्हें एक चीज बताता हूं. When the lawmaker created the 300 series ना, in the 300 series he created two standards relating to audit risk, but I don't know why ICA has eliminated one standard from your portion, that is called 330. Actually, the audit risk is identifying, assessment and response. What are the three words? Identification and assessment of audit risk 315 teaches you, but how to respond to that risk 330 teaches you. Both the standards should come in your portion actually, but I don't know with what intention ICA has brought the 330 to your what? Final level. So you only have identification and assessment. How to respond to the audit risk is waiting for you in CA final, ऐसे 330. तो अपन यहाँ पे दो ही चीजें पढ़ेंगे, रिस्क को आइडेंटिफाई कैसे करें और रिस्क को असेस वे कैसे करें, assessment of the risk. Did you get the point? So these are the two. How we can identify and how we can assess the risk by understanding the entity, by understanding its environment and by understanding its control system. Tell me the three things you have to understand. Okay, there's a reason behind why I'm telling you, because I want you to go back to your chapter number 2, planning. याद है प्लानिंग, स्ट्रेटेजी एंड प्रोग्राम? उसमें मैंने तुम्हें एक टॉपिक करवाया था, एक्वायरिंग द नॉलेज ऑफ क्लाइंट्स बिजनेस, जिसमें हम लोग दो नॉलेज गैदर करते थे, इंटरनल, एक्सटर्नल. सेम कॉन्सेप्ट वी हैव हियर. अच्छा ये पढ़ो, ये वर्ड क्या है? व्हाट इज दिस वर्ड? दिस वर्ड व्हाट इज दिस? एंटिटी. एंटिटी का मतलब क्या होगा? इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट और एक्सटर्नल. और व्हाट इज दिस वर्ड? एनवायरनमेंट इज इंटरनल और एक्सटर्नल? वही हो गया. You can identify and assess the risk. Try to understand the standard name first. We can identify and assess the ROMM only by understanding the entity from inside and by understanding the entity from outside and by understanding its internal control system. अगर तुमने तीन चीजों की नॉलेज एक्वायर कर ली, you will be able to identify and assess the risk in that entity. That is what the meaning of this standard. अब बताओ पूरे स्टैंडर्ड का नाम. Identify and assessment of ROMM through understanding of entity, environment and internal. Two things are internal, one is external. Controls and entity are what? Internal. Environment is what? External. If you will learn these three things about your client, if you will understand these three things about your client, it will be very easy for you to identify and what? Assess the risks of your client. As simple as that. तुम्हें उसके IR और DR के बारे में पता चल जाएगा. Accordingly, you can decide your what. You will come to know about its what? IR and CR. You will decide your what? DR accordingly. Clear? Now, this whole paragraph is on that only, which we have already discussed about. Read this point, everyone. Auditor को क्या करना चाहिए? Auditor should what? Identify and assess the ROMM, whether due to what? Fraud or error at two levels. Do you remember ROMM at two levels? FS level, assertion level. At which level, everyone? FS. And at which level, everyone? Assertion. Next point. He should understand the entity and its what? Environment, including its what? So can I say that इन्होंने name को दो parts में divide कर दिया? The name of the standard is divided into first 2 points. What is the first point is talking about? Auditor should identify and, तो ये इसका name है. Can I say that this line they have written in the first point, and understanding the entity, environment and internal control they wrote it in what? Second line. So nothing that they are breaking the standard name into what? 2 parts. Main point is third one. What is the third one? Thus, he can what? Design and implement responses to the which risk? Assess risk of what? Material misstatement. This will help the auditor to eliminate the risk or to reduce the risk. To which level? To the acceptably low level. Did you get the point? Because we all know that risk can be eliminated or it can be reduced only. It can never be what? Eliminated. Risk assessment procedure. ये सुना होगा कहीं पे? रैप क्या होता है भैया? हाँ सर, रैप means risk assessment procedure. Identification of what? ROMA at FS level and assertion level. That is called what? RAP. The risk process RAP by themselves, however, do not provide what? Sufficient and appropriate audit evidence on which to base the what? Audit. चलो मैं एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन पूछता हूं, which we have already done in 5. Is RAP enough or RAP plus FAP both are required? Only RAP is sufficient or RAP and FAP is required? FAP में क्या क्या चाहिए? TOC, SP, SP में क्या चाहिए? TOD, SAP, TOD में क्या चाहिए? तो only RAP is not sufficient, only FAP is not sufficient. That's what they're trying to tell you in the last point. Read the last point. RAP by themselves, however, do not provide which appropriate, sufficient and appropriate audit evidence on which to base the which opinion? Audit. इसका मतलब they are indirectly saying that कि RAP plus FAP both are required. RAP के 5 टेक्निक्स बताओ ना मेरे को. Inquiry, observation, inspection, recomputation, analytical review. In the next few points, are you able to see that the RAP shall include the following? What are the 2? Inquiries of the management or others within the entity, analytical procedure, observation and inspection. एक missing है, यहां पे लिख लो, recomputation. So these all are the techniques of what? RAP. So there is nothing new we are doing. We have already done all that. और मेरे को ये बताना, which one is the best combination? I plus O और I plus I. ये हमने automated environment chapter में भी पढ़ा था. ठीक है ना? Now see, auditor shall consider whether the information obtained from the auditor's client's acceptance of continuous process is relevant to identification of risk of material misstatement or not. Where the engagement partner has performed other engagements for the entity, consider whether the information obtained is relevant to identification of risk of ROMAM or not. अब सुनना ध्यान से. I am doing the audit of my client for the first time. Will it be easy for me to collect the complete information on ROMAM of my client? No. But my partner last year of the same client, he was an internal auditor. I am the statutory auditor of my client for the first time. But up to last year, we were the internal auditors of that client. But I did not do the internal audit. Who did it? My partner. Whether his information will help me in understanding the ROMAM of my client? Yes or no? That is what the point number 2. Read the point number 2, everyone. Where the engagement partner has performed what? Other engagements for the entity. Consider whether information obtained is relevant to identify the ROMAM or not. अगर तुमने last year कोई भी other assignment किया है for the same client, it will definitely help you in understanding the ROMAM in this year. Did you get the point? अब तुम्हारे दिमाग में पता क्या चल रहा है कि सर if you were the internal auditor, how you became what? External. Exactly यही चल रहा है ना दिमाग में. तो मैंने ये थोड़ा बोला कि same year में. What I told you, last year I was a which auditor? I resigned. This year, am I eligible to become external? Yes. Are you getting the point or not? But as an internal, I got to know which information of my client. Each and every information. Whether that each and every information which I got last year as a which auditor? Internal. Will be helpful to me this year as a which auditor? External. Yes or no? Yes. वही लिखा हुआ point में. And what is the next point, everyone? If auditor uses his which experience? Previous experience. Consider if changes have occurred since the what? Previous audit. Suppose I did the audit of the same client 4 years back. How many years back? Whether 4 years back audit will help you in doing the audit again after 4 years? Think logically and give me the answer. Do we maintain audit documentation in our office? For how many years? Do I have the last 4 years information also? Where if I'll take that file, which was 4 years back I prepared, is it going to help me 100% or to an extent? But something is better than what? वही तो वो बोल रहे हैं कि auditor should use his which experience? Consider if changes have what? Occurred since the which audit? Previous audit. And last but not the least, engagement partner and the other key team management shall discuss the susceptibility of entities financial statement to what? Material. अच्छा तुम्हें याद है बैंक ऑडिट में हमने एक टॉपिक किया था डिस्कशन विद द एंगेजमेंट टीम. टेल मी द 5 points we did over there. Errors which are likely to occur, errors which have already occurred, the methods by which they will be doing the fraud, engagement risk, assertion risk, all those, and you have to be professionally skeptical throughout them. Don't you think that in the normal audit also we should discuss in the same way? वही बोल रहा है. क्या बोल रहा है देखो, लास्ट पॉइंट, द एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर एंड द अदर की एंगेजमेंट टीम मेंबर shall what? Discuss the what? Susceptibility of entities financial statement to what? Material. Do you think that alone engagement partner is enough to do an audit, or he needs a team? In the team, more clarity of plan should be in whose mind? Your staff's mind rather than you. Because who is ultimately going to complete 90% of your audit? Staff. You are just going to direct, supervise and review them. DRS, yaad hai? You are going to DRS them. What is DRS? Direct, review and supervise them. Because main audit they are doing. So it's very important that you should discuss each and every aspect with your which team? Engagement team. If you them also want to know about the ROMM of your client. Because you know the ROMM, that is not sufficient. Your whole team should know about the ROMM of your client. Is it clear everyone? Now what is the next point everyone? ये जो topic है ना, ये topic is little bit complicated. अपन करेंगे, don't worry, we will do. I'm not going to leave it on you, but I'm saying that little bit dry है. तो let me take the another topic first. ये अपन कल करेंगे आराम से सुख शांति से, ठीक है ना? क्योंकि this topic needs your more attention. तो ये 5 topics I'm leaving right now. Actually यहाँ पे कितने दिए हुए हैं? 1. इसमें से 1 topic we can do. What is the name of the topic everyone? Can you please open your material which I provided you and go to the chapter number 2 and open the topic called acquiring the knowledge of client's business. Open your chapter 2, go to essay 300 and open the topic called acquiring the knowledge of client's business. Either you open the study material or you open my material, whatever you open you will find it over there. Acquiring the knowledge of client's business, chapter number 2. इसी में ही है, इसी में ही है. After 20-30 pages you will find one topic. Page number कहाँ पे? ये material में. और handwritten notes में कहाँ है? Because some of you are following that also. Types of go. Next. एक second. What is this topic? Features of in the handwritten notes. Acquire. ये क्या है? What is the name of the topic you have now? Acquiring the knowledge of whose business? उसमें मैंने तुम्हें 2 parts में लिखवाया हुआ है, internal and external. ठीक है ना? Same topic you have here. Can someone read it from our topic? एक सेकंड मैं ही खोल लेता हूँ. क्यों इतना एफर्ट डालना? देखो ये हमने टॉपिक किया था एक्वायरिंग द नॉलेज ऑफ हुज बिजनेस? क्लाइंट्स बिजनेस. इसको अपन इसके साथ कंपेयर करते हैं. तुम मेरे को बताना कोई चेंज है तो. ये बताओ, आर यू एबल टू सी एंटिटी वाइज? फर्स्ट वन अबव यू आर एबल टू सी एंटिटी में क्या क्या लिखा हुआ है? ऑपरेशंस, ओनरशिप, कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर, टाइप्स ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट, ऑब्जेक्टिव, strategies, accounting policies and financial performance. Can you read it here as well? What is written? Operations, ownership, Type of investment. Next one क्या है? The way entity is structured, how it is what? Finance. और ये क्या? Entity selection and application of which policies? Accounting policy. Entities objectives and what? Strategies. Those connected with the businesses, and finally which performance everyone? Finance. Is it same? This is called external information of the entity or internal? Internal. अभी अपन opposite side में जाएंगे. Opposite side में देखो क्या है? What is the second area? Environment. Environment में पढ़ो क्या है? Competitors, seasonal industry, which industry, regulations of industry, price competition, demand, products and customers. और यहाँ पे भी तुम्हें क्या दिया हुआ है? अच्छा यहाँ पे सिर्फ entity दिया हुआ है क्या? अरे मटेरियल में एनवायरमेंट दिया ही नहीं है. ओके बट आई गिव यू मोर. आई गिव यू बोथ एज वेल एज द एंटिटी इंफॉर्मेशन. एज विच इंफॉर्मेशन? इट मीन्स अवर टॉपिक नंबर 1 itself is over. This topic can I leave? What is the topic name? Entity and what? Environment. Now come to the next topic everyone. What is the name of the next topic? Entities with system. ये हमने ऑलरेडी above पढ़ा हुआ है बट स्टिल विल रीड इट. पहले मेरे को ये बताओ व्हाट इज इंटरनल कंट्रोल सिस्टम. If you can gather me the knowledge and let me know. What do you mean by internal control system? Day before yesterday we started it. Designing, implementation and maintenance of internal control system is the primary responsibility of whom? Management. To achieve whose objective? Management objective. And what are those management objectives? 4 points. याद है? 4 points. Reliable financial reporting, detection of frauds and errors, compliance of laws and regulations, and efficiency and effectiveness of its what? Operations. याद है? वही सेम चीज अपने को यहाँ पे पढ़नी है. मेरे को बताओ एंटिटीज इंटरनल कंट्रोल सिस्टम का नॉलेज ऑडिटर शुड हैव और शुड नॉट हैव. So that is what the point number 1. Read the point number 1 everyone. Auditors shall obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to what? Audit. Although most of the controls relevant to audit are likely to relate to financial reporting, all controls that relate to financial reporting are relevant to the audit. Factors relevant to the auditor's judgment about whether the control individually or in combination with other is relevant to audit may include such factors. अब मैं तुमसे कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा and try to give me the answer. Okay. मैं तुमसे पूछता हूं कि what kind of checking you would like to do? Either you would like to do the full checking or you would like to do the test checking. I'm going to throw some factors on you. On the basis of factors, you have to give me the answer where full checking and where test checking. Materiality. First of all, tell me, what do you understand by the term called materiality? Anything which is highly important from my point of view. तो अगर वो हाईली मटेरियल आइटम है तो टेस्ट चेकिंग और फुल चेकिंग. फुल चेकिंग. और वो लीस्ट मटेरियल आइटम है तो टेस्ट चेकिंग. तो फैक्टर नंबर 1 अंडरस्टूड. व्हाट इज द फैक्टर नंबर 2? अच्छा ये बताओ, ये जो रीपेमेंट ऑफ बोरोइंग्स होती है, दिस इज अ नॉन रिस्की एरिया और हाईली रिस्की एरिया? इन्वेंट्री, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हाईली रिस्की, कैश हाईली रिस्की. So these are highly risky areas. You would like to do test checking or exhaustive checking or least risky areas? अच्छा sales बताओ. Test check because sales is the least risky area. Why? Because the same sales you will find it in their GST returns also. Even if they are overvaluing or undervaluing their sales, but they can't do overvaluation and undervaluation in their which returns? Yeah. If they will try to do the fraud with me by showing me the wrong figures, can I download their GST returns or not? So that is highly risky or least risky? Which checking? Test checking. Highly risky? Full checking. Second area समझ में आया? What is the third area? अब बताओ, चिन्ना size, छोटी organization, full checking. Big organization? Next point. Nature of whose business? Client's business. Simple business, 1 GST rate. Homogeneous population or heterogeneous? Full checking or test checking? लेकिन different rates of GST, variety of businesses. Is it a simple business or complex? Complex में what will happen? Homogeneous or heterogeneous? In which you will do first stratification and then you will do what? Random selection. Are you getting the point? So hard work will be more in which case? होमो और हेट्रो? एंड लास्ट वन, एप्लीकेबल लीगल एंड रेगुलेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट्स। अगर मेरा क्लाइंट अनलिस्टेड कंपनी है तो उसके ऊपर क्या क्या एप्लीकेबल है? If my client is an unlisted company, company set. But if my client is a listed bank, ध्यान से बोलना, listed bank, 14 laws are applicable. याद है? Audit of banks में मैंने तुम्हें legal framework बताया था. RRB Act is also applicable. SURFACI Act is also applicable. CICR Act, Credit Information Company Regulation Act, Payment and Settlement Act, SBI Act, RBI Act, Information Technology Act, PAMELA Act, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So you have to understand the internal control system of the client. This is what they are saying. So what are the 5 factors you have to keep it in mind while understanding their ICS? Materiality, significance of related risk, size of the client's business, nature of the client's business, and finally what? Applicable laws and regulatory requirements. Second point you understood. What is the next one? Nature and extent of understanding what? Relevant control. अच्छा ये बताओ, what do you mean by management and what do you mean by TCWG? दोनों में difference. Which one is high level? What if the management does not give me the permission to have an access over something? Should I directly give a modified report or raise the issue with TCWG? How if they will also respond in the same way? Then better to modify. But if they are ready to, accept my work or accept my request, then in that case modify it or you will continue. Same is the case यहाँ पे हो रहा है. They are saying that some controls are in the hands of home management and some controls are in the hands of home. अब मैं तुम्हें nobody reminded me, but I told you that please remind me of 177. I told you that day or not? So make sure that tomorrow, before concluding this chapter, you first remind me of section number 177. क्योंकि जब तक आपको ऑडिट कमेटी समझ में नहीं आएगा ना, till that time you will never be able to understand the meaning of TCWG. TCWG में सबसे main element authority is what? Audit committee. But do you have a little bit of idea about audit committee or no idea? मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ. Audit committee basically होती क्या है? Audit committee is a committee of directors only, but where majority of the directors will be independent directors. Which directors? What do you mean by, what is the difference between independent director and a normal director? Independent director does not have any kind of pecuniary relationship with whom? Company. He just simply comes to the meeting, takes the wisest decision and takes his sitting fees and go. He is not like a normal director who is working 8 to 8. When you start working somewhere at 8 to 8, you are an employee of that company. It means you and your independence is controlled by the company. But independent directors, independence is neither controlled by anyone nor by the company. तो इस कमेटी में सबसे ज्यादा डायरेक्टर कौन से होते हैं? Majority are which directors? Independent. इस कमेटी का चेयरमैन भी कौन होता है? Independent. So that partial decision should be taken or impartial? Impartial. इसलिए उसे TCWG बोलते हैं. What is TCWG? Those charged with governance. You won't believe audit committee के functions क्या है. Audit committee has a right to disqualify or has a right to appoint, reappoint the KMPs of the company. ये CEO, CFO, CEO, ये जितने भी बड़े-बड़े लोग होते हैं ना, they all are under the guidance of whom? Audit committee. इसलिए तुमने देखा होगा 143 subsection 12 में when we detected a fraud of less than what? 1 crore. Whom did we report first? Audit committee. If not there, board of directors. In 138 section, internal audit may be who gives the recommendation to the board of directors for the appointment of internal auditor? Audit committee. But if the audit committee is not there, board of. So if you have an audit committee, 90% of the powers of board of directors are in the hands of which committee? Audit. So it's a very powerful committee under the Companies Act section number 177. और जब तुम CA final में when you will enter CA final में you will do one more audit committee which is called LODR audit committee. LODR stands for listing obligation and disclosure requirement. Listed company का audit committee and unlisted company का audit committee is different. लिस्टेड कंपनी का ऑडिट कमेटी हैज 400 टाइम्स मोर पावर देन ऑडिट कमेटी ऑफ व्हाट कंपनी से। वो वाली जो ऑडिट कमेटी होती है ना, दैट इज द बिगेस्ट एंड द मोस्ट पावरफुल कमेटी इन अ लिस्टेड कंपनी दैट डायरेक्टली रिपोर्ट्स टू सेबी। किसको रिपोर्ट करती है? सेबी, द मोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंट कमेटी। इसलिए टीसीडब्ल्यूजी वर्ड जो आया ना, दैट एक्चुअली केम फ्रॉम वेयर? इसलिए whenever TCWG word comes na, I always think of making you understand the meaning of what? Audit committee. But unfortunately you told that in the law did not cover, so we are going to cover in what? Auditing. But that will cover in the tomorrow session. तो कल अपन ये चैप्टर वाइंड अप करेंगे एंड एट द सेम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम वी विल वाइंड अप द ऑडिट कमिटी। ये चैप्टर में कितना बचा अभी? सिग्निफिकेंट रिस्क बचा है, इंटरनल ऑडिट तो ऑलरेडी हो चुका है, बट इंटरनल ऑडिट के मीनिंग्स आई हैव टू टेल यू। So this chapter will be over. Along with that, I will try my level best to make you understand section number. तो कल हो गया सैटरडे, संडे अपन नहीं मिलेंगे, नेक्स्ट संडे अपन मिलेंगे 4 आवर्स की क्लास, ठीक है। मैंने तुम्हें पहले क्या बताया था, फ्राइडे तक सारा पोर्शन हो जाएगा, बट एक टॉपिक है विच डिजर्व्स 2 to 3 आवर्स कंटिन्यूअस अटेंशन, दैट आई वुड लाइक टू टेक डायरेक्टली ऑन व्हाट? संडे। तो इस संडे तो मेरे ख्याल से मनिंदर सर ले रहे हैं ना तुम्हारी क्लास? What is the timing? Not, मतलब he told ना, I think in the class. So next Sunday I will take, क्योंकि this Sunday I am taking for CA intermediate, CMA inter audit. So next Sunday I will take your audit and we'll wind up portion. But after Friday there won't be any class. Okay, directly we'll meet on what? Only Saturday. Won't be any class. We'll meet on what? Sunday. चलो, bye everyone. Take care. See you.